Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. So today's episode, I actually went ahead. I know I previously actually said it in season 1, I think episode 4, about writing down things that I wish to accomplish during the episode, so that doesn't feel like I'm just kind of talking and not really progressing or doing anything. So I went ahead and I wrote down some things that I want to do just so I can stay on topic a little bit, so that the videos come out kind of the best way that they can and the most informative, and we're really utilizing the hour that we have to the best of our abilities, instead of kind of getting somewhere ish and then not really finishing out where we were at. So that's why I wanted to do that. So I have 3 things I want to accomplish today. One is to build the Bravoslav Central Station. As you can see, I have deleted some things that we previously put in, because there was made mention to some things that doing the wood tracks are super slow, concrete's better. So I went ahead and I deleted all the tracks that we previously had put down. I want to actually, take a step, not really, I guess, a step back, but just to take a re-glance at what I really want to kind of see Bravoslav Central Station look like. I didn't really like that we just had kind of a train stop here, and then that was kind of it, and then they would just pick up whoever's here and go off. I really want the location to be momentous to Bravoslav, because Bravoslav realistically will keep expanding out this way, potentially a little bit out this way, but I'm really going to be stopping it at this waterfront here. I don't really want to go past. So with that being said, I really want a momentous kind of reason for somebody to live in Bravoslav. It's a, starter village or town now, or arguably maybe a city by the time it's fully done, but somewhere where they can go, and this is a grandiose central station that they go to. So that being said, I'll leave the game on play. I did go ahead and also put some roads for upgrading, so that's going to be underway. And we want to get this out of the way. So kind of the second thing after we build the Bravoslav Grand Station is I did go ahead and I removed everything I had over here. So I want to be able to put this correct. And what is correct is a quarry to storage to processing, because you can process so much, or you can mine so much that you can't actually process it quick enough. So you need like a buffer zone. And then I think you're fine with leaving it in the processing plant, but you might also still need to add the storage after the processing. So we'll kind of see that. And then lastly, I want to lay out the remainder of what Bravoslav will look like, with kind of the roads I want, the walkways I want, and everything like that. So with that being said, I don't have, I guess, I have a rough plan in my head of how I would like to see the Bravoslav station be put together, but I don't have, I guess you could say, the grandiose view of how I would like to see this go, because obviously it might be a little bit difficult to run everything off of how we're trying to do. So first off, we would have to look to how can we run a exchanger here, because what I would like to see happen is I might want this road to actually run and just keep going out of town, not necessarily being in this roundabout situation. And then this would be the roundabout through. But I think what I want to see happen is potentially this takes up and then connects in through here. So one would go over, one would stay under, and it would just reconnect. And then that would allow me to actually, from this roundabout, run underneath the highway to actually connect up into here to then have our central grand station. So I'm not exactly sure how this is going to look. I will keep everybody with me while we kind of potentially stumble our way through. The only thing I can't do is I can't take back to here. So everything that I would have to take away, well, actually what we can do, and what I think I will, is I'm going to delete this quickly. And I'm going to add this so it's higher up the road, like here. So they can still very much reach. They're very close. I can potentially upgrade this to gravel in the future. But now this gives me more room to manipulate what I want to do, which is always good. So what I want to see happen And I've never once in my entire, I only have 60 hours in workers and resources. I've never messed with overpasses. So I don't know how they work. And I don't know what's the best way to go and what's kind of the cheapest. So we don't need a bridge, but we do need, I guess these are all bridges. This is an underpass. Now, how do you, does this work? I'm sorry, I'm trying to use Q and E. That does not work, but I believe, yes, so this does work. So what I think, see, that's 430 tons of concrete. Holy smokes, what does this cost? A lot of prefab panels. I think the higher you go, the more prefab it costs. Okay, so I think what our best bet to do to start with, I guess I can play the game because I have them so they can still go. So maybe what we should look to do before we look to build the overpass, because I think it is okay if this just currently stops without having an overpass. I mean, overpasses just seem ridiculously expensive. So I think if this remains just like a stop, it's fine, because they can go around the city if they need. I mean, this was more of a direct path, but let's look to lay out kind of the grand station. Grand in the sense that we're not going to build a large train station. This doesn't make sense because I don't think Bravoslav is going to get above 4,000 residents before we potentially look to move out yonder. Or to kind of make a gap and have another settlement. So I don't think necessarily we're going to want to have the super large, but I do think the train platform would be very beneficial to have. And so that's why I want a road, because I want a road to be able to run in this way and connect to this train platform so that everybody can get out. Because also what I would like to have in here is I would like to have a bus stop. I don't think we're going to need, well, actually, maybe just a platform. I don't think we're going to need a super large platform to bring a lot of people over here, but potentially half of what the train stop can provide. So the train platform is 900, so half of that is about 350, right? 450. Is about 450. So if we could even just do the 600 person bus stop, which I think is what we have here, that would count for enough. Actually 400, we could even do 400, just do a smaller one, because I think majority of the citizens are still going to go to this bus stop here and just go grab work elsewhere. So I don't think we need a super massive bus stop. So I want to start laying out the foundational work of how this is going to work. So if we did the bus stop, and this is the 400 one, yes. So if we did the bus stop, I think what would be good is if this bus stop connected to this walkway, because then they can walk themselves to, well, if we take a look, they would be able to walk themselves pretty much anywhere in the city. Not necessarily would they be able to walk themselves to, well, I guess the clinic. Well, I mean, actually, we could. We did this, I think they actually could walk themselves to the clinic. So let's just take a look. We did something like that, added a bus line. I think once it's built, they might be able to, or it might still be too far away. But this gives them access to like the clinic down here. It gives them access to a lot of different things, as well as it can give them access to the grocery store. So I think having a bus stop connecting here would be totally great. This would be its way in, and this would be its way out. So I don't necessarily want it to get congested with the train stop, because obviously, was this the one I want? Yeah, so there's 900. So obviously you can go across, and I don't think it actually goes across. I think it just links up and it goes out. I would like for the train to run, because I'm trying to build it up in this area. So I think I would like the train, I don't want it too far away. What if, no, because we need to have the tracks running through. So maybe what I should do first and foremost, I need the walking path, delete. What I should try to do, I guess, first is I am going to place the train platform in first, because I know I want it to run out this direction. And I think I want to build it up within here. So it's a little bit away from these buildings. and we have some room to kind of mess around with instead of just being very congested. So if I built the train stop here, the train stop could go in this location. And it probably could go pretty well, but how would we want to hook everything up? Because I don't know. Because if it's hooked up here, we can definitely run the train tracks here and then kind of close this location off. But we also do need to have a bus stop. So maybe what could happen, and see if this might be a good idea, or it could be a very bad idea. So if we run this like this, can I run this? No. Yeah, it's not going to work. Okay, so if I just run that in like so, there is a crossover here for the trucks and everything. But what I'm thinking, well, actually, no, this allows even for pedestrians to go across. So I would have to do a bridge, but I don't want to do a bridge. So what I'm kind of thinking here is if we added in the train platform, we could have it so it comes, this road comes off, and then we can lead into it as well. And then this is a roundabout. This is a short distance. So I'm kind of thinking is if we angle it, say something like this, right? Then if we added the bus stop to, or the bus platform to this side, we could have it come in and go out. I'm trying to see, because I don't want it too close. Maybe we could add it, they come in and then go out on that road. So what if we did something like this, right? And then we added the pedestrian walkway. We can upgrade it later. Actually, maybe, can we add it to this one? We can do something like that. And then what I'm thinking is if this runs straight through, this can attach like that. So this would be its out. This would be the way in. So if we round this out, that would be its way in. Then we could still have this be the same road. We don't have to do that overpass idea. And then this could connect up into here. So this could be the way out. And then they would either have to go around, or they could cut. Well, if this is a one-way in the future, they would have to come through, out, round, and then back, which I don't think that necessarily is a bad thing. I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that works out okay for me. I do want to separate, this back just a little bit. I want to have these running a little further apart. Yeah, I think something like that would be fine. I think that might actually be previously what it was. So now this works out better. So we have a bus stop here. We have the train platform here, so we can send off when they arrive. They can either wait for the bus to come get them so they can go off to a different station, or they can walk there themselves. Just I know that they won't be able to walk fully across to their different stations they want to go to. So they're definitely going to have to probably take a bus over there, which is okay. But I think this is fine. I did want to kind of mess around a little bit with like the brick fencing and stuff and try to decorate it a little bit, but I don't know if I'm necessarily going to be good enough at doing that. I think just setting up kind of like just a starter tram, like Grand Station type style, and then down in the future maybe once I'm understanding the features of a game a little bit better, maybe then I could start doing that. But I just think this is more beneficial. I mean, it gives us room to run the tracks, but then to also build a walkway over, and then we can have houses in here as well. So then they could also go to the same food location. This would probably be in here, would probably be another kind of building project that we want. I know it's close to the bus stop and everything like that, but granted, I mean, a lot of houses are pretty close to a bus stop and a train tram when you look back in the days. I mean, even too, we can put a house in here. We could even put some low quality flats, like maybe one right here. Does this even reach anything? Well, currently it just can reach the food. Other than that, doesn't really reach anything else. I mean, if it's here, again, it doesn't really reach. And it's probably just because we don't have a walkway going over in this location. It's only over here. So if we had a walkway here, we could probably increase where they can go. But, you know, so currently these people in these homes, eventually they can pretty much walk anywhere that they need if they want. But they're very limited to kind of things over here, but they can still reach this bus stop. But eventually the idea is they won't need to reach this one. They can just reach this one and go off somewhere else. And this is for 400, this is for 600. So I don't know if doing only 400 is a good idea. I know this one doesn't normally fill up, so I think 400 is fine to distribute themselves amongst where they need to go. So yeah, I think that's going to be fine. So this will be the train platform. We can run the tracks. So one other thing too is I was told that not to do wood, but to do concrete. It's going to be more expensive early on, but apparently long term, it just makes more sense. So I'm going to trust everybody. And for long-term purposes, I will go with the concrete rails. Probably just costs a lot more concrete. I mean, gravel, it's actually not costing too much. I thought it would be a little more. So then I think overpass, pedestrian overpass, steel. I think you can run an overpass over trains as well. Or maybe you can do an underpass. Maybe to be safe, maybe I might look to do a pedestrian underpass just to make sure that I actually can. Pedestrian tunnel. Whoa. Okay, hold up. If I do something... Wait, what does this do? Too short. Can I not go underneath? So if I did something like this and then something like this, did that just automatically connect? How do I know if this connects? So maybe what I'll do is maybe I'll place this like this like that. Okay, and then these. How do you place an underpass? Okay, so that doesn't work. Okay. Right, because I can't place... Oh, no, I can. Okay, so there. That would get underneath the tracks, which is good, because then we can have pedestrians on this side still being able to go to... Yeah, okay. They can still go and get what they need from the shopping district, and we're not going to interfere with the train. Okay, so that's good. So they can kind of go this way, but then they also can feed in this way. So this just opens up freedom of movement. That's good. We do have space here where we could add something in. Don't necessarily know what we would add. If we added anything, I think it would probably be very much just kind of aesthetic look. We wouldn't add anything necessarily that would actually benefit us. So maybe what we'll do is we'll place in a nice medium fountain, and then we could potentially even add a overpass here, which then would access into here. So then we can do some other stuff, and then they should be able to walk. Once we upgrade this to gravel, they should be able to walk themselves out and over. So yeah, we'll kind of do that. I think that's kind of good for potentially doing a grand station. I've never really built a grand station, or actually even messed around at all with how to build passenger train stuff or anything like that. So all new to me. So we'll kind of see how it goes. So next that we have the train stop built, which I think this is pretty central to what I want to do, because it gives me room to build out on this mountainside if I want, but then also gives me room to kind of finish out here how we talked previously that I don't want to go half past this, but I will incorporate this. So this, it's not exactly central, but it's definitely going to be more central to all of our residential. Up here I might do tourist stuff potentially. I'm not too sure. But we do still have 71% in, and we're just waiting and remaining on all of it. We have some students here. I don't know if they're just hanging out or if they're trying to be students or what they're doing, but we'll kind of see. So secondly, what was mentioned as well about building the train system here is the construction office itself, or the rail construction office itself, should not be on the same line. And we don't need the end station, railway end station. It does not have to be built by the construction office, because like I knew it had its own internal storage, but I'm not sure how the train itself would fill up without the train end station, like any train, like boxcar trains or anything like that. Because I'm not too sure if they sit inside the train depot or if they don't sit inside the train depot. So That's why I was building the end station, but they must all sit in here. So for passengers, we must just need an end station so that they can get themselves fuel and be able to fill up and then do stuff like that. So maybe what we could do for the end station is, obviously we're not using this road here. We're just building the building. So we could realistically on this side, because obviously we can hook up to everything going on over here. We can hook up a road that just runs in here, which might cross some tracks. And another comment too was mentioning that we should try to run our roads below through a tunnel instead of having the train potentially block off the traffic while it's trying to cross. So that might have to go here, but I'm kind of thinking is if we can build the end station even here, right, then trains can kind of either decide. So if we just kind of place this down right now temporarily, not fully with the plan to build it, but if we put it here, right, let's do half like this. So if we did this like there, if we did the concrete, we could easily run this back into itself. And then this gives a way in case trains just want to bypass, or if they have to pull into the end station before they reach the train stop and continue on their voyage. Because I think what's going to happen is I know in the future we're going to have to move all of this, like the brick factory, the clothing, like we're going to need to expand it. But I think currently what we want to probably plan for the future is that this train takes them out this way, where then we can set up kind of a infrastructure here where the water comes in, and we can have a clothing factory out here where most of the citizens will go out over here, and we can kind of start up another small little town. So I want to plan in the future for that, but we also could do it here, but that's still a pretty decent away. So we could have a stop here. So I'm kind of planning the future along that. Like they're not necessarily going to go this way. They're going to go out this way. So this really is like the end station. Right, so that's good. So this is a road tunnel. So it was mentioned that I should probably put in a road tunnel. So I'm going to delete all of this road here. I'll even delete this. Right, so that's all deleted now. So it was made mention that I should run. Tunnel is above the train at some stage. So how do you run a train? Okay, maybe somebody in the comments might have to tell me how to actually do that, because this I don't understand. Because right, yeah, I understand it's like it's above, but I'm trying to, because I think how this primarily works is like enter through here, exit through here. I don't know how tunnels work. So what if we did it and okay, I don't know how tunnels work. To see the train. Oh, so maybe if you did something like, no, okay, I don't know. So maybe what we will do is, this is not going to be a high traffic road, so maybe for currently we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to run the track over it. Due to it's not going to be super used for current purposes. So what I was kind of thinking is we would do the same thing where this wraps around, but I want to have this topography up, because what I think I want to do is I think I want to leave more room than what I was previously leaving, so I can fit more houses in here. This will still maintain to be construction, but obviously eventually we're going to want to have our own kind of construction area. So eventually this will be decommissioned and probably just houses added in here. So I want to have enough room to add enough homes that it makes sense. So then this would continue like so. This would continue past, and then we can start wrapping it around here. I think this is what I want. So to do something like that, and then with these tracks, we want to run them into each other. Like so. So this gives them the option to either continue straight through or hit the end station to refuel before they go out. And then this also allows them to come in and fuel and turn back around and go out. And I don't know actually. When they're in here, do they disappear or will their butt still hang out? Because how long is this end station? Station length 50. Station length 450. So maybe feel like now we're just sitting at the same part where we're not really doing too much. Maybe what we want to do, I'm just going to delete all these extra nodes up until there. That can just, well, I guess that's all of them. I think what we actually need to do is for the metro rail end, oh, hold on, rail end station. I think we need a longer run up because we need to have the train be able to sit and not block the road or block the rest of the rail. So I'm kind of trying to think of, and I'm going to delete these. I'll add them back in a second when I kind of figure out how this is going to lay. So I think what's probably the best way to go about this is if I place, still have the end station. I think here is a good location, but I think like everyone's telling me I need to leave more room for the train itself so that it has more room off the track. So if I did something, guess if I did, that's 150. So if I did something like this is like 150. I don't think I'm going to have that long of trains early on, but potentially in the future, this might bite us. But if I did something like that, that's about 150 distance. And then potentially could do the same here. So this is not 150. So probably want it to run, that's 100, and then we can run it in. So that should give us more room for the trains to come in and not block paths, but I'm not really liking that. I think I want to run it. I just don't know how. So if I did something like this, and then something 62, and then I ran it in, can this, yeah, what if I did something like that? Made it a little bit tighter to 124, so I can now just run it in. So if I did something like that, this is a little bit better. I do like that a little better. It's a little tighter to the track. And it's less, I just don't like this, how we need to go over, or even like, you know, we have to do so much to go over the track. It means an end station. I also don't like how much of a woo it is. Because I do like to have it here, but I just don't know if here's the best spot because of the way that's going to have to come kind of in and around and out. I mean, we've pretty much spent, I think we're at 30 minutes already in the episode, and we've only spent time just trying to build this terrain track. I guess that's just the way my YouTubing life is going to be. I just spend so much time trying to make tracks instead of just kind of fast forwarding through it. So I'm going to take a second. I'm going to think about what I want to do here and how I want to lay this out. And then maybe when I have a better idea, I will know what I want to do. I think this is a design that should work. So what I have done is I've put the end station between my two stops, which granted, I mean, not really how an end station should be. But what I've done is created an allowance for them to get off to make a pass to come in here. So this is enough distance, I believe, for the train sizes that I will want to have running. This is about 150 on this side, and this is about 100 on this side. So we've got about 100 room to wiggle with, depending on which way they're coming in. The only way they should come in is on this longer 150 side. They should not necessarily be coming on the others in the other direction to refuel, just because there's really going to be no point for them to do that. So they can have a decision to get off and then back on if they need to refuel. I like this kind of design. I kept it running closer to this house because that's kind of where I want the finish to happen. And then these can just run over top because, again, they're not really going to be very, very active roads for this foreseeable future. So if they become active, we can then just churn them into different roads. So that's kind of the way I'm getting around it. We have negative 0.01, but no starving, just unable to visit a clinic, which is not good. Unable to visit clinic is bad, times 11. Crime is whatever. It should sort itself out. I don't know if it's just because we don't have enough people manning the police station or kind of what the issue is here, but I think we're all right. So that's kind of the design I'm thinking. It may look sloppy to some, but that's okay. And we can add, I don't even know what we could add. We could add some type of office space things, stuff like functionality things there, so I can kind of break up this opening of land. So now this, I added back the underpass here, so this gives us freedom to build over here and do what we want to do over here, and then also gives us a bunch of room over here to build. So with that being said, I think this looks good. This is what I'm going to kind of go with. I did create a row, a track going out this way, so we can look to build the rail construction office over here, which would be behind our tourist stuff. Just kind of tuck it off and hide it by this mountain here. I think that's a fine location for it to be kind of tucked away. I haven't added the rail in yet fully in this direction, but I know that I'm not going to be kind of pushing it out this way, like anything out this way more. I know my track has to run here, so I just didn't add it. I haven't added it yet, but it's neat to see that the brick factory is up and running. I wonder if we could export bricks and it actually make us a profit, but it does use a lot more coal. So these trucks should be going back and forth a lot more regularly, and we have to be careful about how much coal it actually uses because we don't want to run out. So I'll limit this to actually just 100% bricks because that's all that we want there. So, and then I'm going to lower this because I honestly don't need a bunch of people just stealing bricks. So I'm going to lower it down to 20. I think that'll still give us a steady flow, but still make sure we're not taking away from the clothing production. It's obviously only a certain amount. I actually wonder, I don't even know how many it is. How many can stay at a free bus stop? 100. And we're currently asking for quite a lot. So I think that also comes into the factor of definitely asking for more than 100. Probably asking for near 200. So eventually getting another bus stop would probably be beneficial. We could maybe add another just 100 one because this is 7, 20... This is 88. So that's like right here between these two is 100. So we're not able to drop off the maximum amount of workers that we want. So we'll have to take a look into that eventually and how we can upgrade and make that better. But now what I wanted to do, because obviously we're probably hitting near the, well, we might be halfway or getting near the end. I wanted to add in our quarry opportunities here. We did have this one at Stelenia. Originally we were going to do our quarry over here. I just think it's too far away from where our general population is and where our kind of train is going to be going out, because granted, oh, and actually that's something I didn't even think about. I might want our train to run this way. Actually no, we made a call to run it through here, and we actually might not even need to remove everything. We could probably just snake it through, cut through here. So but we might have to, I'm gonna take an episode to think about this, if we want this to be different, because I think I might want it to actually run out this way as well, so they make a choice either left or right. But I know for sure I want this location to be serviced by our train, and then they can go their way out to the border, which I might leave this open in case we want cargo, but I think we want cargo to be stored at our industry facilities, not necessarily in the city. So let's then, hopefully this finishes up quickly so we can have more storage. We might want to export our bricks. I'm not sure how much bricks can export for. 24. Wow, that's actually pretty decent, because what was our wood exporting for? What 23. Oh, boards are okay, so they're about the same, whatever. Okay. Well, now we can actually tell our construction office to stop grabbing boards. Stop grabbing bricks from out of town. Just grab our bricks, save some money. That's, you know, 56 tons. I mean, that's enough to build these without having to import. So that's going to help a lot. So thank you very much for the recommendation in the comments for that one. So yeah, now what I want to do is I want to set up a gravel quarry here, and I have roughly an idea how I wish to see this. Not that one, the bigger one. So I remember last time we built this, we were only able, well, up here we can actually get 100. Can we flatten that out enough to actually pull 100? No, I don't know if it won't even give us the option to try to flatten it. So I think the best we got was 86. Yeah, that was right here. So the best we can do is 86. I'm gonna mirror this so it's on the other side. Yeah, and then we can pump everything out the right hand side. So if we build the quarry there, then we're going to need an aggregate storage location, and I think large aggregate would be, or would small be what we want, or would the 1,000? Don't think we need 2,000, but I think 1,000 would be good. for quarried stone. So yeah, if we go ahead, I think what I want to do is this is elevated side. So we probably could run a road under it if we go far enough. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to want to run, it's costs 15 tons of steel, not too crazy. What I want to do is I want to run this like that. That would allow me to run a road. Actually, let's run, because I think actually we can, yeah. So that's actually good because we can run a road under there. So let's actually do that. Let's run a road like this under, and then we can attach the road like so. So that creates a T. So that's its way in. Then we want to do the processing plant. We want the bigger one of the two. And that should be able to send... We did something like this. The trucks wouldn't have to drive that far to pick everything up. So if we did something like... Yeah, I think something like this would be good. Do that, and then again, I think we can run a road underneath, so it gives us a lot more flexibility. But then we can also run a road like that. I'm actually gonna take that out. I'm gonna run this as a curve. Doesn't want to curve nicely, so let's move that back a bit like that. Yeah, I think that's good, and that can run in. So now they can get in, and honestly too, right here, instead of having just road, I think what we will do is place in a free bus stop, place it closer to this side, and that will allow us to be able to grab workers and deliver them so they can work. It's a little too far. What's the better way of doing that? Is it like this way? Sure. So now these workers can reach both sides, which is good. And maybe what we should do, because this is not going to have workers, but the processing plant will. I know last time I mentioned not doing it, but I think I will just include... I don't think I need a large one because really not lots going on over here. It's just gravel. So I think I will just place a small big stand for trash so that they can really fill it up, and just a big truck can come down here whenever it needs to and fill up. So this is the gravel processing plant. How large is its storage? I mean, that's probably something that we really want to see. So it can store 380 tons of gravel aggregate storage. I mean, I don't know if that's really enough for us. So we might actually want to look at setting up a storage, like storage, and then another storage. So I'm going to actually do that, and I'm going to set it up so it's 1,000 tons of gravel. And I don't think, ideally, like with this setup, if we did quarried stone into gravel, and then if only storing 1,000 gravel isn't enough, we can always add another one on this side or even on the fronts. So I think for the time being, I'm just going to add it to the side, and then I can add a road so we can build it. But it doesn't need to be manned. That's the beauty of this one. It doesn't need to be manned, so it can just store. So this would allow for us to store all of our gravel needs and be able to get rid of this gravel and then allow us to straighten out this road. Because obviously right now it's pretty woo. So that will be definitely good for us to do. So I think I will... We're completely full on bricks. So does this take a lot of bricks? No, not really. Not at all. Can this building here be... Oh yeah, I can. Okay, so let's build up that building. It looks like this building I can build up too. That'll use a lot of bricks, and we just won't import anymore. We'll just kind of sit on... If we have to wait, we'll just wait for more bricks to be built. I'm not gonna wait for more bricks to come in. So it looks like we're still good on coal. Looks like this guy might have dropped off some coal. But looks like we're doing well. We're reaping in a bit of a profit. I think that'll tend to stay when we're just working with bricks now, because we're just building our own bricks. We're just importing coal. But once we do this, I think it's going to chew a lot of our finances away, which that's okay. So these can be started. I think I will queue all of these up. I'm going to leave the train platform not queued, but I will queue up this bus stop. Just because it's kind of able to service a little bit more areas than what we can right now. Potentially, I would like to set up a bridge to this bus stop, because right now this bus stop is good, but it's not really servicing a lot. I mean, in terms of eventually it'll service here, yes, it'll service a lot, but this bus stop services everything else we need. This one just kind of finishes it off. I mean, apparently you can't even reach there. That could also be though just because it's built on gravel. It's not built on or it's just dirt. It's not gravel. Maybe what we'll do is we'll build that, get that underway. Want to see if that increases its walk distance by a fair bit. So I'm sure if we added more gravel walkways, it'll definitely fill it up a lot better. And if we add maybe like an underground walkway here to here, if we did an underground right there and then had it pop up here, that would probably service all of this. So potentially in the future, we'll look to do that as well, just to be able to service everything within this area. But I think this is fine for right now because it's servicing what I want to service. I mean, minus apparently... Oh, is this... Yeah, this one's being serviced. It just needs to finish building. So I would like to set up the gravel paths here, like gravel dirt. Wow. Gravel road here, but I'm a little bit worried that this wouldn't get done fast enough before we run out of meat, and then we're just kind of hooped. So I'll leave it for right now. And I think... So yeah, so this has no power, so we're going to need to... I think we need to run power. Do we need any water? Water and sewage, okay. So I know we want to use this for... like a beach, but it doesn't seem like there's actual visual pollution that goes on in these waters. So it looks like you can just have a beach. So we're going to muddy these waters. So I don't want to build sewage all the way out there. Granted, I guess we could do a drop-off pick-off spot so we can just bust it out here. How regularly are our sewage cisterns being used? Doesn't look like they're being used too often, to be honest. Looks like they're kind of just hanging out. Okay. Yeah, it looks like they're not really being used. Okay, so maybe we can get away with just having them come pick up the sewage that it makes. Just how much sewage does it make a day? Power, water consumption, max daily water consumption. And this was one that needed sewage, right? Yeah. Garbage production. So we have a waste thing. That's fine. Daily water consumption, wattage, power consumption. Doesn't actually say how much. Sewage it produces a day. So I actually don't know. But this just needs power. This needs power. Most of these just need power. These guys need water, but I think we can cart in water, so we don't have to do anything like that, because we can just send them to send water, right? Because we can load the water here and then have a road vehicle that just goes back and forth to supply water instead of having to do up another well. I mean, eventually we're going to need another well for sure. But I'm kind of basing it off of this, because we're pretty much just topping up. We like our bar is up, max flow at max pressure per day. Yeah, I mean, I don't know input. Yeah, we're not even maxing out, and our output is not maxed out. Yeah, I mean, it's getting very close. Actually, how much is this producing? Output max. Yeah, so we're still maxed out. We're still good. So I don't think necessarily we need more, because it's saying that we're outputting 14 per day, and I think we can export 25. Yeah, so we're like 3/4 of the way, I think, used up. So don't know if I necessarily want to add more, but something that we will need to add is I think we're going to need to have a transformer out here, and I think regardless, like, we're probably going to have to want a transformer here so we can supply more substations in here and not always having to pull off of this transformer. And then we can easily just have it. So if I did, I think what we would want to do, because obviously this here is where we're going to have to pull our wattage from. I wish I didn't do this so sillily. Can we cross it over? Okay, we can. So this is going to need to run, I think I'm going to do a 6-man switch for the high voltage, which allows us to run it off in different directions, because obviously I don't know how many I want to pull that way, and we're down to 1 here, and I don't know how many I want to pull off this way or off that way. So I think I'm going to do I'm going to do this 6 one. I'm going to have 3 going that way and 3 out this way. So this can connect right there. Then what I want to have is this 15 watt going from here. And I want it to run, I think I want it to run alongside the choo-choo track. So can I don't want this to be in the way. Can I run it like this? I know I'm not going to go up here onto this red for the tracks, but I can run electrical. So I'm going to cross right here because I know I'm not going to use that. The road's going to be... Let's actually place the road down so I know roughly where the road is going to go. So I want that. I want this road to go kind of like this. But I also don't want to use up land that I could be developing if I wasn't running these cables. So I'm trying not to be willy-nilly with these lines. I'm trying to run them as if I wanted to preserve space. So I think I'm going to run this one like this. But like, I don't know if I want to run them against the road. Because if I run them against the road, I can't build anything. So I think I want them... If I ran them alongside the back here, that gives me a lot of space to develop and grow. And then if I run it alongside the back and in, I think that gives me a lot of room to develop. And I'm not causing issues. There's too many criminals. What? Man, there are too many criminals living in this residential building or area. Literally, he just opened it up. So I can tell you it's that. He's the criminal. Go get him, boys. He's the criminal. Like what? 35% criminality. Yeah, so like there's one dude living in this entire place. He's the criminal. You should probably arrest him. Okay, well, I think... Yeah, 0% without flat. So I think I'm just going to invite immigrants from the third world. Lower our number a bit. I'm going to jump that up to 100. And it's going to lower our whatever. But now we're definitely going to have more students. So then eventually we're going to have more people. So we're at currently 7% unemployment just due to that, which is good. So I think this is good. This gives me space to build. And we might have to like skip a space. But I think I want to build more in here first and then out here secondary. We might have to watch out for the construction office, which I think this might actually take away from it too much. How much can we do for an underground line? 12. I think that actually might be enough. I think that might be enough. What if I just did an underground line to there? And then I can do one out here in case I need to pull more. Yeah, okay. Damn it. I just placed all of that, man. Okay, so we'll do a 12 volt. And yeah, I'm going to just run it underneath. I'm going to run it underneath. It's going to give me more options, I think. Costs 127 tons of gravel. Whatever, we're gonna be making more gravel by spending gravel, so not necessarily worried about it. Now why can I like remove extra nodes or no? Probably not. Okay, but I need to kind of do that. So yeah, let's queue that up. Let's get some power, and then we're gonna need to place a transformer to take it down to low voltage. And I think I did it. Could I actually do it like this? Oh, that would kind of look cool, no? Let's see. If I take away this roundabout and I added this transformer and I did it like that, I want to see if this actually works. High voltage line. Build it. Can I then just like... Oh, yeah. I don't know if that's going to slow everything down. I can take the other side. I just think it looks kind of funky and cool. We'll build this. We'll build that. And then we need to take it down to a substation. I'm never sure how much like actually power things need in a from a substation. I kind of just tend to go overkill with it, I think. I just send in like way too much power because I always just go for the 1.85 volts. Run it underground. It's good to go. So I think I'll do this one up here in case I want to do anything over this direction and I want to pull power. I'll just do the highest one. And then water and sewage, we'll just come here and take it. I don't know if I check sewage and I check the sewage loading and unloading, I mean, it really doesn't take much, does it? Could I do a sewage tank? Can I do a sewage tank? Let me see here. If I did a sewage tank here, I did a sewage loading and unloading place, and say I did it, where would I want it? I think here would be fine. If I did this, because how much can this store? It doesn't tell me. It just says wastewater. Okay, let's go check how much this. Let's go check how much this guy can store. Not much. Resource available. Resources available. Oh. Am I reading this wrong? How much can this store? I feel like I'm reading this wrong. Wattage storage. Can it just store an unlimited amount? It's probably going to be stupid. I'm probably just going to get told in the comments this was stupid, but whatever. Can this work? Can like that work and store it in the meantime while I need to like wait to deliver it? Because I don't want to run a pipe that far. Oh my god, that's going to be so far. When this really doesn't cost much. It just costs bricks and boards and steel and gravel. Where like this would cover, like, to do this far would take so much. And then water, I guess I can just load it and bring it over. I don't know how that works either. Or if like you would want to have it like loaded and then have a water substation that you pump out to. But like, would you need I don't know, I guess whatever. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do it. Tell me if it was dumb in the comments, but I don't know how else you would do it. Because then would you set a loading and unloading station? And then would you like set it this way? Like would I set it like... Actually, maybe if I... Hold on. If I set it up going into here... If I did something like that, then I can do water loading and unloading. Set this up like, yep, like so. Oh, I can actually get a lot closer now. Set it up something like that, and then run it in, and then I can set itself up with a, ooh. What did I do? Cancel. Then I can set it up with just like a small pipe. Nope, not allowed. Apparently my dum-dum decided to build it so stupid. Yeah, so nope, that is definitely not connected. Okay, I'm gonna do something like that. I don't know how much that just cost. I didn't really look. 37 tons of gravel. Not much. This doesn't cost much. So can I do something like that where they just unload it and then load and then there's like a storage for it without having to drag out a huge line or pollute here? I think I'm gonna try it and see what happens. So yeah, they have to build that. They're currently building all of these. They're building this. They're building that. Yeah. So that looks good. That's all moving well. That's a good plan. So now I just need to queue this up, but a lot of my stuff is moving. So I'm gonna wait for these projects to finish before I actually queue the gravel, and then we can look to moving this around and not having this whole storage thing. And then what I think I have to do after that is I need to revisit my logistics on how everything's laid out to better understand what I am doing and when I'm doing it, so that I know who's using what. Yeah, we definitely need to watch this to make sure they're not using too much coal. All right, they're filling this up now. So actually, so if we tell our construction office to grab bricks from there, and then let's copy this to all of my construction offices. Yeah, okay. So now they'll get their bricks from there, and that'll be good. So I think that we'll definitely have to take some time next episode to actually figure out the logistics behind what is doing what, and make sure that it's running actually smoothly. And then we'll get this gravel plant up. We'll kind of forget about that one for right now. But let me know a good name in the comments for what this gravel factory industry area should be called. And then we can actually get a name going for it. I think that would be pretty cool, man. So yeah, it's looking good. It seems as though I will be out of time, though, this episode to kind of cover the last thing that I wanted to do, but I will just leave a prelude into the next episode about what we're kind of looking to do. So, and I did make some kind of pre-comments about how I want Bravoslav to kind of finish itself up. So I don't necessarily just want to kind of build, one town and it grows into a city, and then we just like keep expanding it, and then like what you see is like just this big old massive city, and it's just like, oh my goodness me, it's like confusing to myself and the viewers, and it's like, where's everything located, how does it work, what, X, Y, and Z. So what I want to do is I only want to really expand Bravoslav out to, like I said, halfway to this lake, and then around, and that's why I deleted the above ground wires, because I want to run it all through here and have this figured out, and then potentially look to move my construction office to somewhere around in here, because I think my first industry is going to be set up around in here for clothing and everything that requires a lot of movement of product. Actually, maybe even potentially we might even do it out here. Actually, maybe we might even just do it here. I might just like bulldoze kind of the wood cutting post and everything that's in here, and then just set this up that all of here is the clothing, so it's at least closer to the customs house, so it's not far away. Or I might take away all this temporary stuff and just build a big clothing factory right in here. So maybe leave in the comment below too if we should do the clothing right close to the customs house, just demolish some of the free stuff, move some of the dump stuff with the claw and move it out. We'd have to demolish this, but whatever, that I don't think that would take too long. Have it close to the custom house, or should we do it where the old forestry industry was located? Should we do it there? I mean, it's kind of close to the city, but we could hug this side. Or do we do it far, far away by this lake out near, currently it's Proteslavo. I'm not definitely pronouncing that right, but let me know where we should probably put it, and then we can kind of go from there. So we have starving back again and lack of meat. So I guess what we'll do for the remainder of this episode is figure out who can't make it. Or maybe it's just because this is filling up. Just because there's so many more people here. So actually, yeah, that might be the problem. So I'm just going to raise the number. I'm just going to actually just max it out. We have enough workforce. I'm going to max that one out. So these are now both maxed out. They definitely should have enough. I think what was happening here was the workers, they were just dipping below. I think that's probably what happened. But unable to visit a hospital is rough. 2 there, 2 here. So we're definitely hitting an issue where, oh wow, we only have 6 workers with high education. That is really not good. Yeah, because we used to have 9%. We used to have 80 something. Now we only have 76. So that's creating an issue where we're having backlogs, so we don't have enough doctors. Because this should be able to, we should be able to handle this, but we don't have enough doctors. And And I think it's because we hired the doctors in a wave. So I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to bite the bullet. I know this is going to be a lot of money, but we need the doctors. Oh, I'll just fill it up. Okay. Yeah, that was just 70,000. I don't know. We really need the doctors, but actually, okay, they can reach that clinic. They can reach everything they need to reach as doctors. They can reach the clinic. They can reach here. It's okay. So they're good. So we just hired a bunch of doctors. Now we're sitting at 11%. So that should alleviate that issue. We shouldn't have that problem anymore. That'll go back. We just bumped this up. So we have definitely enough for the amount of people. So starving should go down. Lack of meat should go down. Unable to get clothes. So everything that was like grocery store related should go down. We should go back to getting up in numbers. But I need to space out my educated workers, and I definitely need... So I think with the increase, I think we can bump this up to... We did 12. Is that 6? No. So we did 11. Is that 6? Yeah, okay. So we can do 11 there. We only have 4% due to no workplace. So if we did that like that, I'm going to leave this one not doing anything. But I want this one to be able to bump itself up so we can actually get some students educated. And it looks like there's a lot of people in the dorms. Okay, well, anyways, we are looking okay-ish on cash. We're definitely starting to build more things now. We're going up for another flat, which I'll make just into students. This needs to bump up too. Let's bump this up to 10 in the school. This is fine as it is. But we just really had to worry about the patients here, and I think that is set back to normal. So dodging bullets left, right, and center. I think today's episode was a little bit more productive with kind of things that we were doing and how we needed to see them happening. We just have to keep an eye on the coal, because now it's sharing between two entities that need coal. One is a crucial essential, and the other one is bricks. But I want to make sure that we don't lose everything. So, anyways, I hope today's episode was a little bit better. Next episode, we're going to start a housing project kind of in this area. I know we started one here and it's not really wrapped up and finished, but I at least want to like plan out another housing project. So when it's time, we can make it and we can go. And then hopefully by the next episode, I mean, we only went up by 10% because we just have such lack of high educated workers. So hopefully this goes up next episode. But I want to plan something out, and I'll have a couple other treats in store for when the next episode goes live. So again, thank you for everyone for tuning in today. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to give it that like, make sure to subscribe, and leave a comment, even if it's just for the sake of engagement. I do like reading them. So that's it for today's episode. Take care. Bye-bye.